Good morning. Let's kill that. Let's kill that completely. Holy cow. Good morning, guys. How we doing? Hang on. Okay. I've got my stream up somewhere. I'm listening to myself. I think I'm the only one even tuned in right now, which is totally cool. I think. No, that's cool. I love it. I am waiting for a couple guests this morning. Maybe. Might be flying solo, which, if so, totally cool. We'll do this a little different. Let me see. Hang on. I am trying to find where the one lone viewer is, because, again, that one lone viewer might be me. As if you guys don't watch yourself in the mirror or wherever. It's like a selfie. This is like a streamer selfie. So I'm okay with that. All right, Henry might join us today. Not sure. The Great Cats fanatic probably is. So we'll find out in a minute. Until then, how's everyone doing? What are you guys up to? Gearing up for the holidays, I think. And when I look at our sales volume, which I'm going to show here in a minute, looks like everybody's taking a break. In fact, look, if DGens are going to take a break and not do their job, right? Their job of trading and keeping us afloat, I'm not going to do my job and show us the numbers, right? They do their part, I do mine. I thought that's how it works. But no, honestly, we kind of fell off a cliff yesterday. It's not great. But probably it's the calm before the storm. Actually, I'm leaning more towards that. What the hell? Let's get right into that stuff. By the way, who's here? If you're here watching, say what's up in the chat. Just want to see who's tuned in. Well, we do have a couple viewers, so good morning, GMs. GM, Adam, what's up, man? You're watching on Twitter. Interesting. Very cool. Love the MFers, dude. So in my little gang, which maybe you're in there, I'm not sure if you just got a different name on here, but we were chatting a little CCO without people realizing it this morning because something really, really big is going CCO on January 1st. And I was telling the guys, like, man, someone's going to print money if they drop an NFT collection January 1st with this specific character. Maybe I'll put it out there because I don't think we're going to get it together and make it happen in time. But like I'm telling you, dude, someone, probably a lot of people are going to print money on January 1st because of this IP. No, what the hell? Let's show it. Before we kick off the market talk, let me show what I'm talking about. First off, any guesses what character you could use on January 1st and make piles of money if you dropped it as an NFT? Adam, you got any guess? It's kind of been news the past few days, like starting to bubble up. I think people know what's happening, but also I'm not sure. I'll give you a minute, and I'm just going to drop it here. Like one of the biggest characters in the history of the world is entering the public domain. So like your MF profile picture reminded me of that. Because when I was thinking of an NFT to drop for it, I picture this character with an MFer. All right, we're gonna drop it. We're just gonna put it here. Also, my browser's like shitting right now, so small chance I got a reboot here. Hopefully not. This is crazy, but Mickey Mouse is going public domain on January 1st, and actually not just Mickey, it's Tigger too. So I'm trying to tell the guys, like, dude, the first person that drops like a Mickey like NFT, and especially if you can make it pretty, R-rated or X-rated, make it like super controversial, man, the news is going to pick that right up because they already are. Like this article is talking about a guy who made these X-rated Mickey cartoons like 50 years ago. And this guy, even when Mickey goes public domain, he can't use the IP if he breaks his his terms, I guess. Like he goes to jail and he gets a fine if he ever uses Mickey, even when it's in the public domain. Sucks for him, but all of us, man, we can do it. So that idea is out there now. Like, again, I'm sure someone's going to do it, but the first person, the first group of people, whatever, that put out some Mickey NFTs that actually get picked up by the news, because then you got your timestamp of this is the first Mickey thing that, was used when it was public IP. To me, that kind of thing sells itself. So I wonder if guys actually have plans to do that. Be smart. But yeah, dude, take my money. Someone's going to make a lot of money on this. That's for sure. All right, I'm going to put that to the side. I'll probably touch on that again if and when Henry and Katz comes. Katz is here. Morning, Katz.
Yo, can you hear me?
What's good? Yeah. What's good, man?
Oh, kids are finally out of school, so everybody's all hyped up, ready for Christmas. Tis the season for craziness.
Dude, it's the season for craziness. How long are they off? Like mine are off 2 weeks here, like over 2 weeks.
Yeah, we don't go back till January 8th. So
it's like, man, it's nice, and it's also like it's such a long stretch, dude. It's
Yeah, we'll be traveling most of it, but
oh, that's cool. Where are you going? If you don't mind.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm from Kentucky originally, so we go back up north for us.
That's cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, doing a vacation over the holidays is the best. We're just chilling at home, which that's why it's like a little less fun because everybody starts going stir crazy. But like a few days in, everyone's like, I wish we were at school. So you're doing it the right way. Dude, interesting stuff this week, though. Like, just talking NFTs, like starting off crazy hot following a hack last week. In fact, last week's show, were you here for it?
No, I was in Atlanta enjoying real life time with my wife for her 40th. So
look at you touching grass, being a decent human.
Dude, it was so weird being completely disconnected for 3 days, but it was actually really good. Yeah, and when I got back, I got caught back up on all the hackathon that was happening.
It was wild. So last week was planning like a normal show, and we couldn't do it because it was like in the thick of the hack going on. So we ended up doing that whole show, covering the hack live and looking at Etherscan and seeing what was being stolen. And then the interesting part was like the messages being sent back and forth on chain. So we were like just following along live with who's talking him or her. Actually, it was a woman. But dude, it was fascinating to watch it all live and see how it played out. We'll get into a bit of how it played out too, because I guess the worst case scenario was avoided, but still, I think it goes down as probably the biggest hack or the biggest theft in NFT history. I mean, we're talking millions, like millions stolen. I know ultimately like 30 plus of those Bored Apes got returned. That was really interesting, dude. The way the community kind of came together and like, I guess recovered, like saved half of those apes, 30 or so were recovered after paying a bounty. So like sets bad precedent in a way. But I don't know. I don't know if it really does. We say that because we're told to say that. But you see, like the U.S. government does that all the time now. We give money to get hostages back and stuff like that. And we see businesses doing it too. What is it? Not Insomniac. Who's the game dev that just got hacked last week? Got their Wolverine game leaked. They didn't pay the bounty, and they're paying a huge price now. So I don't think I believe anymore that paying a bounty is the wrong thing to do. They saved 30 apes. I don't know how many people's apes that was, but they saved the day for a lot of people. You could argue that maybe is the right way to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, we had some people in one of my group chats that were affected by it, and they were definitely super grateful to get their apes back.
So did he get it back from like Boring Security, or how did he get it back?
I think I think his was from Boring Security, because it was like not in the first wave, because they didn't like all come at once, right? Like, because I think he got his back maybe a day or two later. So I think it was the Boring Security one, because
interesting.
I don't remember. I don't know all the details about how they all came back, but yeah, I think his was through the Boring Security bounty.
Well, that's cool. I like what they did. I like seeing Yuga Labs offer money for it too. Just like, again, the community and, founders, leaders, whatever, coming together trying to save people's assets and save their ass. So I thought it was really cool to see. I'm putting out some messages, inviting some buddies to the show, maybe some people we haven't seen before. So that'd be kind of cool. Edge too, bro. And Adam, either you guys want to come up and just shoot the shit. If you've seen this before, you know how casual it is. And ultimately, it is going to be a show where the community comes up and just hangs out. That's kind of the point of the Saturday show. So if you do want to come up, just send that in the chat here, and I'll send you a link to join us here. But yeah, dude, following that hack, I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to get a feel for what the NFT market's doing right now. We've been so damn hot, right? We fell off a cliff yesterday, and that's for sure. I mean, just looking at the numbers today, it's very, very clear. I always kick this off with the Forecast 500. This is measuring the value of the NFT market. This is the most, I'll say this, it's the biggest declines we've seen probably in months in a single period, like a 24-hour period. Down almost 1.5%. Nothing crazy if you keep in mind that like traders really are plugged off. They're unplugged. They're hanging with family right now, right? They're traveling.
Yeah, I mean, this next week will be down even further, I would imagine.
Yeah. Dude, when I zoom out to the 7 days too, that really shows it. Down 4.5% basically. Again, considering how hot it's been since, let's say, mid to late October, this is kind of shocking. But again, this time of year, actually, that makes me want to go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this live. I want to go look back at last year and see if we had like a similar effect. Kind of think we did. It just makes sense. Like periods of time like mirror each other in the NFT market. So let me go back to last year. What is today? I'll go back to like December. Well, no, let me put it in the same period here.
Yeah, today's
like
23rd.
The 23rd. Okay, yeah, last year almost the exact same thing. I'm going to stretch it back a little further just to see. Yeah, okay. It's kind of interesting. So we actually, okay, I didn't realize this. Like, as much as I keep up on this stuff, I didn't know we had maybe a little recovery. I want to see when that started, but, oh, okay. So last year, this time was the FTX stuff, wasn't it?
Oh, probably.
So that was
it all
it,
just
like
blends into chaos. Just years of all this stuff. I don't know. It all blends in.
That feels like way longer than a year ago, but yeah, this is right when that stuff happened. So we didn't really have a recovery. We just kind of stayed flat, and then we hit a little downtrend, and then a downtrend in December. I don't know. I guess there's There's nothing really that compares to this year, I guess. This is different. We've never had a recovery like we saw the past couple months this late in the year, too.
Yeah, that's for
Um,
sure.
Part of me wonders, too, like just being honest. So I'm expecting that January pump. Probably most people are, and we've had that every year now. But part of me wonders if we just had that early. I don't believe that's the case, but I gotta think, right? I gotta wonder if that's maybe what could happen. Um, I don't know. I just think we turned the page with the tax year,
I was just
and
say it's for me. Like I've even like at the end of the past 2 years, I've tax harvested both years. I mean, I've been doing some of that this year. So I don't know. January is a new year, man. I don't think it comes early in December when you're about to hit a tax year for those of us that file taxes appropriately.
so do you feel free? Like all of a sudden, January 1st, do you feel free to spend again?
I shouldn't. I mean, but I do.
You do that
Yeah.
well, okay, but that's the point. You do. Like I don't trade like that because I trade like really very little. Um so I
Well,
don't
I'm
pay
not a
any mind
huge
to the
trader
daily.
either. I mean,
Right, but just hearing that you trade well, I mean, maybe not like your typical whale, but you're engaged and you do trade when there's trades, but knowing that you feel more free to trade after January 1st is
well,
interesting. That's what I was curious about.
again, though, I mean, I'm one who does all my taxes. I'm not saying people wouldn't, but knowing what I've made this year and knowing, like, I just took about 4,000 in losses to try to harvest some of that, and like, I, you know, I made a sale yesterday that I didn't really want to, but I was wanting to make a move and I had to do it now. So it's one of those things like that does enter my mind though, because I'm like, man, like I already know I'm gonna have to probably pay in taxes come April, and I don't really want to do that. Whereas, okay, after I get past April of next year, come January, it's a new year, so whatever I do, I'll worry about on the back end, and I'll know how I've done. But like I already know how I did this year, and so I have to be cognizant of the next 2 week, next 8 days.
Yep, yep. And then you let it rip. Bring
Yeah.
us back, cats. Bring us back. Yeah, check this out. So this week, kind of a mixed bag as far as sales volume, and we're looking at cross-chain sales volume here, by the way. Thursday, 70 mil, like a really, really good day of NFT sales. Yesterday, 47 mil. So somewhere around, what is that, around 30% less? I'm getting better at like doing some numbers in my head. Not that good though. So 20 to 30% down. That was, it's not a wake-up call, but it really, really showing that people are throttling back. Unique buyers, unique sellers too. 9-day lows there. Again, it's just people a little less engaged. You probably feel that on X2 if you pay attention to that kind of thing, like engagement. Engagement's way, way down. It's just, it's again, people unplugging. Shitcoins not doing as well as they were just in the last few days, really. But for that, like my biggest indicator for how the shitcoin stuff is going is not necessarily on any kind of DEX tools. It's actually at this point, it's still Crypto Slam because we're counting all those inscriptions. We're looking at those BRC20s. When I see like your old PFPs back in the top 10, I know people have throttled back from trading those meme coins on Bitcoin. And that is an indicator for the rest of the market. So past 24 hours, only two, is this right? Yeah, only two BRC20 collections in the top 10. Any other day, man, it's almost all BRC20s, like almost all 10 collections. Like, okay, if I zoom out to the past 7 days, that shows it right there. It's basically all BRC20s except for the Soul Maps and Bitcoin Frogs. These are ordinals too up here. So there's 3 collections in the top 10 that are not BRC20s. And then I bet you 30 days it might be all BRC20. No, dude, I'm wrong. Okay, actual PFPs up there. Interesting. But again, I look at BRC20s now as an indicator for the market. When I see those getting traded actively, I know it's still meme coin season, and they're not today. So yeah, just a throttling back. Interesting too, by the way, to feel that flow. Like it's something traders all know, right? Like people play in those big boy cryptos, Bitcoin, ETH, all that stuff, and then they move to meme coins, and then they move to NFTs. We've not really seen that move to NFTs yet in the past few months, like other than a couple little like short windows of time, like when Pudgy Penguins were pumping and Mad Lads had their time too. We've
Yeah, but
not
we
seen
had.
the NFT pump yet, really.
I mean, honestly, though, this didn't follow that necessarily, right? Because like you were talking about how much NFTs pumped. I mean, it was pumping while Ethereum and Bitcoin were going up. They were going up simultaneously this time.
Yeah, what's interesting there is yes, but I think it was more of a recovery of losses. Like I don't feel like NFTs pumped. Like there was less of that speculative pump going on, other than right at Art Basel when Pudgy Penguins started blowing up, and really the week before. That was the first time I felt like the speculation was coming back to NFTs. It was happening in meme coins, and NFTs were gaining value, like by a good amount. But it was more like recovering lost value. I still don't feel like we've seen the like full degenning going bonkers in NFT mints. Here and there we did. But
Yeah.
like what's the project you've been talking about lately that has a mint coming in January? They're partnered with one of the guys from Valeria.
Yeah, Zokyo.
Like when shit like that comes out, that's when NFTs start rocking, and when those kind of projects come out and they mint out and they do well. We just see like the Ubisoft, those what are they? Those champion NFTs. Like, again, there's small examples of it happening, but nothing compared to like your traditional NFT pumpy market. I still don't feel like we've seen that here.
It's going to be interesting to me to see what happens. I mean, we all fully expect January to be great, but like the gaming narrative has been going on for months and months and months, right? And I think all these games are going to come out, and there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, and I think it's actually going to matter what the game is like. I mean, if people like playing it or not, right? But then I just wonder, and we're in the token meta right now, but all that shifts quickly. So I just wonder what it goes to in 24, right? Because I mean, we've all been so focused on gaming in 23, which has been the buildup of the games. But when the games come out, if they suck, people aren't going to play them,
right?
And so, what's it move to then? It's one of the things I'm interested to see what happens. Like, the PFPs make a comeback? Not the old ones. I'm saying, do we get new ones? Do we get? I don't know. I mean, I don't really have ideas of what, but it'll just be interesting to see what the new meta is.
Yeah. My hunch is it'll be new PFPs again. And then I'm leaning towards art. Like I think art is going to have a resurgence, which is done really well too in this recent rebound at times. But when that blast liquidity is unlocked, like of course that's going to like have some kind of major impact on the market. But when Magic Eden and Bored Apes Marketplace launches and royalties are enforced, and when a platform like Frame drops, and again royalties are enforced, to me, well, I guess then it's not just art; it is PFPs. But to me, that's going to be the catalyst. It's going to be those kind of things that where projects or people thrive on royalties. So first thing I think of is art. I'm wondering if we have another art like surge, like a big old surge.
It's weird, and maybe it's just because we're more connected to art, but I just don't feel like it's ever gone away. Now, we're not in the days of when we were, aping into Tezos stuff, and everybody was moving over to Tezos because art was all the rage, and that definitely could happen again, most certainly. But I just, I mean, Jack Butcher's been one of the biggest stories this year, right? Like that's, Snowfroze had his stuff going on through the bull, or through the bear. I think art's always going to be there. So I don't necessarily know that an art meta is, the new gaming or the new PFP. I think it's just consistent. I don't know. But maybe we're just plugged in. Maybe we just enjoy that, and maybe we're more plugged into that day to day. So,
well, yeah. I mean, there's definitely times where art is like next level hot, and you see those art blocks curated mints just going ballistic. I was hoping the FX hash mint was going to do something special, and it really didn't. It really just kind of fizzled. So we're out of that. Like, so when I'm talking about art resurging, it's like that FOMO art. You know what I mean? Like, like when Winds of Yawanawa was popping, and then that Milk NFT dropped, and like that did crazy numbers, and maybe shouldn't have. Which I feel bad saying that about art, but it just wasn't that unique. But that was a little period of time where just anything in that vein of art did really well. And those are those art cycles I like. Like we've had that generative art boom. We've had the glitch art and trash art have its time in the spotlight. Okay, this is totally random, but I've noticed something. All right, I got to set the stage here. Okay. There are a couple artists on Tezos and Art Blocks whose artwork has gone mainstream all of a sudden. Like when I'm talking mainstream, I mean like getting millions and millions of views. So like here's a tweet. Oh, okay. From Non-Aesthetic Things. don't know if you can hear that. I'm going to mute it anyways. Biblical angels, right? This tweet got 35 million views. And then all of a sudden the artist is like, hey, cool, this went viral, but I got no credit anywhere on this. I'm like, oh, dude, who's the artist? Like, I wonder if they're an NFT artist. And it turns out he is. And he's a guy we used to collect over on Tezos.
Wow.
Which is like super, super interesting to me to see the mainstream looking at some guy's art who has NFTs out there. They FOMO into just following the guy at least. It's like one of those Trojan horse things. I really think art is about to do something really big, like really big, because he's not the first example of this in the past couple months. There was a dude. There's no way I'm going to find it in my bookmark tweets. But do you remember in Idiots? I showed a piece of art where you put two browsers side by side, and when you drag them by each other, like
they interact. Like
so you put a browser here, and you put another next to it, and there's two orbs that like try to link to each other. They try to touch.
Yeah.
That one got like 10 million views also. So same like this. I looked up who the artist is, realized he's an NFT artist, realized he has a drop coming on Art Blocks in January too. Man, things like that are going to blow up again when they're getting millions of views.
Yeah.
This is the guy right here, I believe, too. Yeah, Bjorn Stahl. So he has a drop coming on. I guess this is alpha officially. Like, this is alpha. He has a drop coming on the 3rd of January. Dutch auction starting at 1.5 ETH. That'll definitely sell out just because of the attention he's got. And, dude, his Twitter account, I'm going to pull it up, but his Twitter account went from, I don't know, a couple thousand followers. Maybe he had a little more than that, too. Like, maybe he had 5 to 10. But I want to see what he's up to now because, again, when the mainstream's looking, okay, here he is. Yeah, 53,000 followers after his piece of art went viral. And, again, it went fucking viral. I'm sure he's got it, like, ooh, that's cool. I'm sure he's got it pinned or at least in his highlighted. Wait, why does he not have highlighted? Oh, man, I really want to find that viral tweet. But point is, yeah, art has a really interesting chance to pop off here because of these viral tweets and then because of royalties being enforced, which they'd already be enforced on art blocks, but, you know, maybe at a different level they're going to be enforced here. Here's that piece.
Well, there's just more of a systemic stance against taking royalties now.
Dude, here's the cool thing. So this is that piece.
Yeah, it's really
Look at this, guys. Like, holy cow. This is dropping on FX Hash. This piece that got, let's say 15 million views. That's dropping on FX Hash. So
that's some sort of crazy level of technical brilliance.
You know what's interesting with that? This perfectly highlights like artistry. Yeah. And so I'll say this, like code artistry, because what he actually did is simple. Like, it's a technique people have used before, and when he explained what it is, people are like, okay, you know, I get it. That's easy. That's a thing that, you know, coders do. But an artist does it in a way that, like, that becomes magic, that just captures your imagination. And again, that's exactly what an artist does. So cool to see it. It's cool to see what people are attracted to, and man, they like magic. It's kind of that simple. And to me, that piece is magic. And again, the fact that that's going to be on FX Hash, just one of those things that's got me feeling a little something about art here. So this dude, back to the angel one. First off, biblical angels, they're wild. I mean, that is, if you take the definition of what an angel looks like from the Bible, they look like this. I think most people know that, but some people don't, because I don't think I realized that till like a couple years ago. Like, they're wild looking. They're like aliens. But anyway, millions of views. Somebody community noted it too, by the way, and so now he's got his credit on that tweet. Dude, it's nearly 40 million views on that. Like, geez, that's so freaking crazy. Anyway, so I went to go look at his profile. Again, knowing his name, knowing I've collected from him in the past, his art's starting to move, dude. Check this out. So I bought this morning, 90 Tez for this, which is awesome piece. And I'll show you why I bought it. Like, so damn cool.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I just love it. Okay, but I bought it because his collection that those people were highlighting in those tweets, those are selling for like 600 to 1,000 Tez now. Those angel ones.
Oh, wow.
right? So again, you getting that kind of exposure pays off right away. So his stuff's now moving on secondary. Now back to that stall dude. Okay, so like after his tweet went viral, I knew most people in NFTs hadn't picked up on it. So I went to go look at his previous mints. And dude, I mean, these were, let's see if I can pull up like the market. These were like 0.0 something to buy. Maybe even 0.1. Oh shit, you can get one for 0.1 now. But these pumped. These like 10x after people realized it's an NFT artist and you could buy the work. So maybe there's a play in that previous guy with the angel stuff. But again, that kind of attention does something to your art, the price of it. And yeah, I'm just feeling like I'm feeling strongly that art's gonna pop here. And frame, look, I think right now people are questioning, is Solana, is like art gonna pop on Solana, which I think it will. But maybe art has a big presence over here on frame because of the royalties.
Before you get into that, Moisty's trying to go to the Discord. Moisty's trying to find you.
Let's get our boy up. You know what, dude? I'm still so bad at marketing. He's like, "Did you tweet?" And I didn't. Like, I am so, dude. I've got great New Year's resolutions this year. It's all the things I say I'm gonna do. So I'm like this. When I say I'm gonna do something and I actually like flip that switch to do it, it happens. Like this show. Like when I said I'm doing a show every day, there's a difference between saying it and then committing to doing it. When I commit to it, it's happening. This show has happened every day now for 5 months, like 7 days a week. So New Year's resolutions are going to be the daily show that I've talked about a lot. And then giving this show a buff with like graphics and like intro video and all that shit. That's all coming. I'm ready to flip that switch here, man. Okay. I sent Moisty an invite, and I need to tweet this out real quick because it's just what you're supposed to do, I guess.
I mean, it's good if people know you're actually live.
You know what's funny, dude? Like, because I'm such an idiot, and part of me just is, man, just maybe not always comfortable, like, being on... I'm not comfortable being on camera, but, like, there is a little... anybody's going to be a little anxious doing something like this. So, like, I would always say, hey, I want my show to just be good enough that, people find it, they stick around, and then it just grows organically. But, like, okay, then I look at someone like Crypto Slam, who that was our method, too. It doesn't work, right? That method doesn't work if you really want to get big. Here and there it will if you've got, like, a crazy personality and if you're just, like, the most charismatic fucker ever. Then it works. Somebody like Thread Guy, but again, that guy grinds. If you're just sitting here hoping it happens, you can put out excellent work every day, and no one will ever see it if you don't promote it. So that definitely needs to be a bigger focus for me. Like, think of how many articles I wrote that are on Yahoo Finance and stuff. Nobody knows I write shit, right? Like, nobody knows. I gotta learn to self-promote. I really do, as much as I hate it. All right, let me share this fucker out. I sent Moisty a link, so Moisty's gonna join. Sly, good morning, sir. Sly, you're welcome to come up too, man. Of course, like always. How did I share this? Oh, just like this. Sorry, guys, just a second still. I'll show you something cool, man. Still on, like, the art front.
I wanted to bring up bit blocks because I was trying to talk to you about that in Idiots and I never got any response from you, but I think they're really cool. And they're number 2 on Magic Eden right now. They did a bunch of secondary. The price came back down.
Those are cool. I tried to get one. I didn't gas it enough, I think, and it didn't end up going through. I think I lost my gas there.
Dude, I thought I did too. Mine was in the meme pool for 9 hours, and I ended up making the collection.
Okay, maybe I got to check because... So, all right, I've been in wallet hell.
Oh. Yeah, see, there it is right there on the page. I like that. I just think it's cool because I haven't seen anything like that on Bitcoin. Like, it's a much different ordinal than, what we've been looking at.
Dude, they're really interesting. They really are. I went back and I was looking for interesting inscriptions to like put through that whatever it's called.
Yeah, I didn't go through that much work. And that's why I have my badger today as my icon. I used that badger to make my bit block.
Oh, that's cool.
Because then it was more sentimental too. Like, yeah, I got my favorite badger as an art piece now.
Yeah. That's perfect. So I don't know what wallet I ended up doing this from. So, you know, like I tried to get one. So okay, so wallet hell. I was trying to import my Sparrow wallet into Unisat, and I did
Yeah.
it. But in the process, because I was doing it wrong, I set up 6 wallets. And check this out. So like wallet one has 8 accounts under it.
Oh no.
Wallet 2 has 5 accounts under it. Wallet 3, 7 accounts. Dude, I probably made 75 wallets in the process of trying to get my Sparrow account over, and then I've got my Xverse wallet too. I don't know which wallet I tried doing that BitBlocks thing under, so I don't even know where to check if I did end up getting it. Like, it's gonna be a whole freaking process. I think I did it here, but I'm not sure. So yeah, those are cool, by the way. I hope they catch.
I was shocked by the volume yesterday. I mean, because they ended up doing 10K. They were going to do 999, and then it went to 4K, and then there's like, okay, there's a lot of demand. Let's do a 10K collection.
Merry Christmas, fuckers! The whole gang's here.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Henry and Moisty, what's up, guys?
Morning, fellas.
Hey,
About time he tweets out the show, right?
For real.
Yeah, just got it out. Dude, I was telling Cats, like, I do have New Year's resolutions coming this year. And like, I'll do the quick version of this. I'm bad at self-promotion. Henry, I know you know that for sure. Like, I do this thing, I self-sabotage. I'm like, I'm just gonna do my show, and I'm just gonna make it so good that, you know, it'll organically grow. It doesn't work. I know where that comes from, and it's not coming from a place of like trying to be excellent, which that's happening too. It comes from a place of being like nervous or anxious to put myself out there, and that's why I really don't do it. That has to change, because I have been growing. Like, my channel's been growing, and it's awesome to see. But like, if you don't promote yourself, you know what? Maybe in 10 years you'll get to the point you could have gotten in 1 year. You gotta self-promote. So I that is a New Year's resolution. That's gonna start happening here.
Nice.
Anyway, how are you guys doing, man? It's good to see you both here.
I'm good, man. I'm back in Florida. I am getting ready to host Christmas. Got about 14 or 15 people coming over. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, last few days and today will continue to be getting ready. How about you guys?
Nice. Dude, we've got, kids are home for about 2.5 weeks now. My youngest just had her birthday yesterday. Basically, right now is like party mode, and like the whole gift thing, and just like it's like right now is intense, crazy. I'm ready for after Christmas. Like, yeah,
Yes.
I'm ready for it already. So,
Yes.
yeah, Henry, how about you? What's your Christmas
yeah,
plans?
same. Lots of birthdays in this house. In December, well, 2 birthdays in December, Hanukkah, Christmas. Yeah, just kind
Damn, bro, you'd be getting busy over the summer then, huh? Two kids in December.
Well, no. One of them is my wife. Her birthday's in December
okay.
too. Yeah. So, honestly, normally I would join on my drive into work, but I closed the store today.
Nice.
I'm not going in. So I've just been chilling the last couple days, like doing some work here and there, trying to. What were those order links that some of us idiots got into last night or yesterday?
Yeah, we DJ'd into those. Oh,
yeah.
What's the story with those?
Dude, I know very little about it other than there was some Kongs that I think got into it. There was people and idiots that got into it. It was a 10K collection that sold out, and I just aped in without knowing anything other than idiots were minting, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like. Okay, here's the question I have, because there's a ton going on in ordinals. I see like Tickles posting all the time, like this mint, that mint, this mint. Are they getting wins on the majority of those, or is it just like they're spraying lead everywhere and like a couple of them are hitting and most of them are fizzling?
It's a good question, because there's definitely points where all of them hit. Picture like, when we're in one of those Ethereum runs, the Ethereum NFTs, and there's just everything goes up. Bitcoin has had its moments of that too. I don't know if it's so automatic right now, but also this is like Cats and I talked a little market at the start. We just hit a lull this week, and especially yesterday. So I don't know that anything's going to hit right now, but I think come January 1st, I think floodgates open, and yes, I think all this is going to pump like mad. So I'm probably smart to be minting mostly anything right now. Going by hype, right? The old way we used to do it. Are they getting Twitter engagement? How's the Discord? Is it active? Like that old school way of doing it still works. So I think these guys, what are they called? Orderlinks. I think they'll do well. And by the way, did you notice the different types of characters that are in it?
You know what? So I was scrolling through, doing everything on mobile because I left my laptop at work. And like I did the one frog one that you got. I thought was, I mean, I call it a
Amazing,
frog.
right?
Yeah, he's awesome. But no, I didn't realize there was different character types. Though I did see that there was some that had like kind of like the flat kind of head, some that looked like almost like antlers. But yeah, no, take me through.
So I don't know them all, but yeah, there's definitely frogs, and I think the frogs. I scrolled through the entire 10K collection, which took forever to load on that page. But there are frogs. They felt a little more rare. This purple guy here is a bat. So there's frogs. There's bats. There's like I think they're pandas.
Mice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, pandas or mice. I felt like I saw mice too, but somebody in Discord said pandas. He could have been wrong. I don't know that he was with the team. There's also geese. Some of them are like the goosenals. So you got those as well. So you got something fun to play with in the collection of people chasing different characters. In fact, you know what? I haven't looked at traits, and maybe there are none. Yeah, maybe there are none. But was hoping there'd be like a little meta to this, right? Of people chasing certain type of characters. But
Do you know what I love about this? When I first saw these in Discord, there was no part of me that thought that the art was cool. I saw them, I'm just like, it's just another Fiverr artist or whatever. Then I minted one, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, these are fucking cool.
Funny how that works, right?
These are, and Nikki saw me scrolling through that. She's like, what is that? Like,
that is your degeneracy coming out, sir.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But you know what? I've only bought ordinals. I've never sold an ordinal. So like maybe when I get that win on selling something, it'll feel a little more real to me.
Dude.
Right now I keep collecting, thinking one day they'll be worth a ton.
I mean, look how cool Badgers are right now. Like that's nothing but wins at this point because they were $15. Right now,
I love the Badgers.
Like, what's 0.01? Is that
I mean,
like
you
400?
$400, dude?
Yeah, 440.
Yeah, it's a little bit more.
I really think these are going to be 0.03 to 0.05 when this picks back up, like in the next cycle here. It's hard to, like, I don't even know how to define a cycle right now, but in a matter of weeks, if this all picks right back up, I think Badgers are about to have their time to, like, really shine. They've been slowly, I'll say even quickly, and lately picking up steam and getting some attention. That guy Aqua's, he's a G, dude. He's really, really good. And he's got that personality, right? So
he's got the culture personality. He's also, they've brought in some really technical dudes in there that are just pushing the envelope on all this stuff, which a lot of it's way too technical for me. The thing they did with Virus Protocol, did you see what they ended up doing? I was like, I'm not doing all that. Whatever this ICP was, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I did that. I did ICP.
Did you?
So I like the idea of it. I think Virus Protocol is them just trying to like brute force inscriptions on any chain.
Yeah, it is. Which is cool. I mean, they did it with the XTX20 thing, whatever, so
guys,
it's smart.
We need to do this. We need to meet. Oh my God, Jordy's here. Jordy, do you want to come up?
Please do.
I miss so much our chats, dude, and getting the legal insights that you have. Jordy, if you want to come up, you're welcome to. And you like every Saturday we do this. I'm waiting for her reply. Okay. So Aqua or one of the other dudes was asking what blockchain should they try, and I'm like Tezos, dude. Imagine.
I saw that.
Dude, Tezos is people that are just fucking like, dude. They are chomping at the bits and like begging for some energy, like anything. And the Tezos Foundation isn't bringing it. So like, man, bring a degen like Aqua there. Let him like fucking tear up a storm there. And you got all these guys sitting on piles of Tez, and there are meme coins over there. Like Robness has made, or actually Max Capacity made a trash token over there. And then they made a Tez poll token, like kind of memeing on the Art Basel Miami. Man, there's people that really want it that don't have the technical chops. They don't have that like that degen thing that Aqua's got. If he did this there, if he brought inscriptions there and started making all these like, Tez 20s and whatever bunch of meme coins, dude, I think Tezo stuff could blow the fuck up again. Jordy, I'm going to DM you a link to join here. Oh, my God. Oh, this will be so cool if she joins. Okay, one momento here. And Jordy, you don't have to be on camera, but you're also welcome to. So just a heads up. Yeah, Badgers are going to be phenomenal. Akva's going to be a legend. That dude is really picking up steam. So okay. One of the things I'm going to be cooking up here, I think in the next week or two, it's part of the New Year's plan, but I'm going to start doing interviews. And they're going to be different interviews. Like, I like the whole NFT LDR theme, like just quick bite-sized things. So I started baking an NFT LDR segment into my morning videos. I got to tighten up that process. But basically, I hit the market. I go to my top story, 1 or 2 stories, and then NFT LDR is where I want to like blitz through the story points, like not riff on I don't want to riff on the story. I just want to hit you with it, give you a sentence about it, and then to the next one and the next one and the next one. My interviews, I want them to be like that too. I want them to be like a 5-minute interview with builders and project leaders and shit like that. But like almost like a yes, no kind of question answer thing, right? Like I just want to rapid fire questions and get just a sentence reply to them. So I think that'd be fun. Akva, I think, is going to be my first guest, by the way. So he said yes. It's just getting the questions ready, getting them to him, and then put him on the hot seat here.
Hells yeah. I love it. When I saw them chatting about Tezos, I was pretty stoked. I was like, that would be, and I agree with your comment about Badgers. There's something that feels a little different about them. Just the community, the alpha in there, the people. I haven't sold. I think I have 8, and I'm not selling till they're 0.1.
Yep. Dude, smart. They give me a serious Wall Street Kongs vibe. And there are guys from Wall Street Kongs in there. They're that kind of degen, and they're technical, and they're like just they're crazy. I think 0.1 is very realistic with them. Dude, if they go to 0.1, that'd be magical. I've got enough to then if I hold till then and cash out, then I would end up with a full Bitcoin. I think I got 12 of them. So
nice.
Really hope.
Yeah, I took all my profits. I got my 1 left, but it ain't getting sold till it's 1 BTC at this point.
Cats is playing shit really, really well too.
I've been selling all the way up because, like you said, we got those for literally $15, and half of them we got free. I mean, they airdropped 1 for 1. Those that admitted. So, I mean, that was a great play,
dude.
That was fun minting those.
I just sold one on the way up this last week for 0.0125.
Very nice.
But
check it out. I've got Badger number 57 and 83. So the couple of them that are sub 100K, those right now have a floor price of 0.02. I think 0.02. Yeah. So
I'd definitely hold on to those though.
Those are going to be the ones that definitely hold those for the long run. A lot of opportunities in that collection. In fact, our buddy Derek grabbed one. He might have grabbed a few actually, but when you see other people buying in now at these prices and they're kind of feeling that vibe there, it's a pretty good indicator.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's just funny thinking back because like Katie and the idiots last night was talking about like, oh, I should try to figure this out. I'm like, this is so much easier than it was in February. Man, I just
that was like freak, bro. Like, really what was this Sparrow wallet? We were like trying to figure out Sparrow and the tap. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. I ended up using
buy this currency, send it to this address, convert it to this, send it here. Now buy it here, and we promise we'll send you an NFT. We're keeping track on a spreadsheet.
It actually is harder for you because you were even earlier. Like you're the one who told us about it, and so I didn't even use Sparrow because by the time we came in on that second mint, because you were in on the first mint.
Yep.
But the second mint, we had Albi by then, and so I used the Albi wallet thing and the Lightning blah blah and all that craziness, and the NOS is like NOSFT. I mean, there's so many. Man. I was just like all this stuff.
That's right.
I did use Albi on that first one though, so I used the same. Okay. So we went through the same process.
Dude, it was just chaos. Like, oh my god.
Hey,
now it's just like
Jordy.
Hey, there she is.
I'm here.
Hey, Jordy.
Dude, I haven't heard your voice because I don't even think we've hopped in a VC in a while. I haven't heard your voice in months.
I
been a
know,
long
it's been
time.
way too long. I'm so glad I saw this morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm jumping in to say hello to
Oh,
everyone.
hell yeah. I'm so glad. Yeah, yeah, we've been doing this now probably for 2 months every Saturday. Steve left, bro. But yeah, this is our Saturday thing, and it's just like our old spaces. It's just casual hangout, shoot the shit.
I like the format here. This is pretty cool.
It's neat. I think this is what it'll stay too. I mean, there'll be other shows, but this will just stay a casual community chat. Like this is not a show for projects to come on and chat. This is for us to just hang out and talk about the week and talk. At some point, aliens, man. There's so much alien shit that we gotta get into. So, oh
How's
man.
everyone doing? What guys ready for the end of the year? I can't believe it's already the end of 2023. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, good here. Also can't believe how fast the year's gone. So at the very beginning, we were talking market stuff, and I was trying to look back last year and see what happened. Man, a year ago, the FTX stuff happened, right? Crazy to think that was just a year ago, and how much has happened since then. It's just been a wild year.
It's even crazier to think that they had already tried that guy, and he's just waiting for sentencing. I mean, that happened really fast.
Dude, yes. Yeah. How are you feeling just because this is now your specialty? How are we looking on the regulations front and on the legal front? And are you surprised, like we saw those couple projects they got? I'm surprised we haven't seen more, though. Any thoughts about all that?
It's coming. Yeah, they have hundreds of enforcement actions behind the scenes going on. So there'll be a big wave every year now. It'll get bigger. That's what the SEC was doing. They were building up their forces to be able to go out en masse. So we'll see a lot of it going on. I think that we are headed towards mass adoption. That's basically what I feel. I think they're going to regulate it. I think they're going to be forced to regulate it, but it's going to really kind of blow the doors off of everything.
How soon do you think mass adoption's coming, and how soon do you think the next wave of charges?
Oh, I think by March, you'll see another wave of charges. But I think mass adoption is like right around the corner. I saw that the UK is going to start opening things up, and they're really going to kind of embrace it all. And I just don't think the US will be too far behind. So
good. Within
a year, I think you have mass adoption. I think there's no doubt in my mind, crypto is here to stay. So I just think it's going to grow. I feel more confident today than I did a year ago about that.
Oh, great.
But yeah, no, I think that crypto is going to be a part of everyone's life in the future. That's kind of where I'm at.
At this point too, well, like, aren't normies starting to feel it too? Like I know neighbors that have bought Bitcoin recently for the first time. They've heard it enough. It's now in the news enough. And I think they're like, I'm going to try it because they do see people making money off of it. So,
well, yeah, and the ETF's going to help. Like, it's going to become normalized, and then it's going to be constantly learning the new tricks of the trade, right? As regulations come out, what you can and cannot do, where are the loopholes, people will push the limits. So now we're just going to, I think it's going to be just normal. And you'll see people investing in this stuff through, their brokers now. I think it'll be, I mean, again, I think it's here. And I think that now it's just about figuring out where the lines are and how decentralized things can be. I think they need to figure out credit card usage. I think there's still a lot of stumbling blocks with that, but that seems to be clearing up as well too. And so I think I think it's here, guys. I think it's what we probably have all been waiting for, and it's just going to explode from here on out.
It feels like it. So I've been saying,
Let's go.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's so exciting. So I think 2024 is going to demolish 2023.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a chance that it actually is our best year for NFT sales. Like in general, I think 2024 could be our biggest year yet, which, man, 3 months ago, I would never have thought that. Never. I would laugh at anybody saying that, but I see that possibility now.
Well, I saw a lot of people saying that they thought 2025 would be the year that we're coming back. So, I mean, to be honest, we weathered, I think, the toughest part of it now, and it'll be gradual, I think, this year, but I don't think people were too far off with 2025, so, and it'll be here before we know it.
So I'll show you some interesting stuff just in the numbers. Okay, so like comparing this year to the previous years, because now at this point we're almost done. So this is pretty close to how we finish. Clearly significantly down from last year. Who's here? Did somebody leave or join? English is joining, by the way, guys. Oh, and let me share my screen here. Okay. So, $8.3 billion in NFT sales this year, down from $23 billion last year. So significantly down. And we're actually like half of what we saw in 2021. But we did those numbers with less buyers, with less sellers. But here's the biggest thing that stands out. Our average sale price. If our sale price, like we're a quarter of what we were last year, right? So picture this. Crypto runs and we hit those all-time highs again, which we all think is probably going to happen here. Henry, English, you guys are back up. But if those crypto prices come up and we do the same thing here, like as far as total transactions, 87 mil, 87 mil. That is, we smashed the previous 2 years combined. We trade like this with the prices of crypto being back up. That gives us our best year ever. And so that's specifically why I think next year has a chance to be our biggest year yet. It's all about the price of crypto.
Well, and don't you see what's going on when you step back on a macro level? It's almost like it's price discovery, but it's also just consolidation. You know, you had to wash out a lot of stuff that was out there. And I think we've seen a lot of that stuff wash out this year, just kind of disappear. Things that are going to fail are failing. And you know, failure in my mind is a sign of health. You know, I know people view it differently, but when you have things fail and wash out, it makes room for the other projects that are staying and building to grow and take over more of the space and capture more market share. So when I look at what's happened over the last couple of years, we had to hit the high. You know, we had to have like a kind of go crazy period of time. And now I just feel like it's just coming back to a more normal level that is a good base that you can build on. So I see this no differently than normal business trends, which is businesses come out, they flourish. There's a lot of them, a bunch of them fail, they consolidate, and then everything just grows. So I don't know. And when you showed me those numbers right there like that, Huda, that's what that shows me.
It's coming. The maturity of the space now, as far as the platforms, that's what, you know, has the stage set for that mass adoption. And the tools really are great. Something like Phantom Wallet, where you can now do Solana, Ethereum, Arbitrum, and Bitcoin. That's the kind of stuff that's going to make it so easy for people. You know, one wallet, you can play on all these different chains at this point. The marketplaces are easier to navigate. And then even something like Frame, which we've not seen what their marketplace will look like. Yeah. But I know with people like Dingaling and Luca guiding and advising, and, you know, they've got a financial interest in it too. Got to imagine that platform is going to be really great for new users too. And then Base. To me, Base is the biggest X factor here because Coinbase, I think they're supporting that in a way they never supported their, you know, Base NFT or Coinbase NFT marketplace. I think Base is their focus. Right. So again, the tools and the platforms are just, it's primed. It is all primed for your normal people to come in. And really, I see it this way. They come in, they buy crypto for the first time, right? They get their Bitcoin. Man, so much easier now to get them into an NFT because NFTs live on Bitcoin. So it's like, you want to dip your toes and go buy a fun little JPEG for $10. They can do that now.
Well, and it is getting easier. I agree with Katz. Like, it was so difficult when I first bought the Badger many months ago, when you introduced me to them. I mean, I was just like, I had no idea what I was doing. And it really has just become easier. It's still a little bit murky, but so much better than 6 months ago. So I think within the next 3 to 6 months, it'll be as easy as, you know, just jumping in a wallet, and things will become a little bit more streamlined and quicker. So the biggest thing is just being able to slow down and having to wait for that stuff. That's the biggest thing.
Stupid meme pool.
It takes forever.
So what do you, well, actually, hang on. Before we get to the next topic, I don't know if you guys are looking at this screen.
People.
I freaking love this guy. But I love how his work is just commentary on the NFT space. And, and you know, kind of the biggest thing happened in the past few days was Solana and meme coins on Solana, and this token dropped called Solana Super Boner. And that, dude, it was ripping, and I bought in, and it's, of course, I did it like I do, and I played it terribly. Here's the chart now. Here was Beeple's tweet.
Yep.
And I was buying into the hype. I probably bought around here, and now I'm losing. Now I'm losing. Now it's more like now it's that. So, but
Huda,
yeah, I'm hoping.
Huda, can I give you a tip?
In what way, sir?
So when Beeple's, it's like the biggest sell signal. So like that happened with Pepe, that happened with checks. It like marked the top. So like you want to be in before that. And if you're not in before that, you have to be ready to like sell like within an hour of buying.
Damn.
Maybe definitely the max is like 24 hours. And if it's already on the decline, like the last picture you had there was like with a dog with hat,
Yep.
and that hit 300 million, and then it was like on the decline, and I think it went all the way like with a sudden dip to like 120 million, and then I think it started to charge up, and he tweeted that, and now it's like just gone sideways. Whether it goes up or down, I don't know, but that's a big top signal. Like after
Yeah.
people, I mean, it also happened with Nakamigos as well. They ran to like one and then retraced, or barely didn't even hit one. So I think at this point it's a meme where people know we got to get out.
He's like Steve Aoki.
It's become that almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Damn.
sell signal.
All right. Well, I just got to learn from this then. Yeah, don't FOMO into stuff people talks about. I was hoping it was going to catch, like, because people had never tweeted about a Solana thing. He has about NFTs, I think, but he's never tweeted about a Solana meme coin. I was hoping that was going to send it to the stratosphere, and no. So yeah, I think I'm just going to cut my losses today, which is like 90%. And
Well, and here's the thing about cutting losses. So I have found that, you know, there's garbage, and yeah, cut your losses on garbage. But some stuff I found that if I just let sit, it eventually like comes back around and has another run. So it really depends on how much you have in it. And I've been pleasantly surprised by a couple of things that have come back, and it's like, okay, not only made back my money, but then some. So yeah, some of it cut, but I all of it's not worth cutting. I don't think, as
Right.
long as you have patience and you don't need it.
You know, so maybe that's the point, because I can definitely see a meme coin like Boner that always is going up and down, like could have some legs there, and so we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, like I think I had about $1,000 in there. It's down to like 200 or less at this point. I think that $150 doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I think that's 100% true. And tying it back to a topic I wanted to address, and this might be a good segue, is like, so you were talking about like badgers, you're talking about ordinals and minting them. If you look at frogs, they went to 0.15 peak second cycle. So there's 3 cycles of ordinals. The first one, which is when like the badgers were going and it kind of ran, and then people were buying Bitcoin punks, which you turned me on to, and it got hot and there was OTC trading, and then it died down for maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks, 2 months at the most. And then OXBT came, and then all the people from Solana came, and Ethereum. And then that was like a huge run. That's when frogs really took off. People in the frogs community, very much like badgers now, were making money off of like these DGen BRC20s, which have since mooned, and pumped it back into frogs. Well, they ran to 0.15 in peak bear summer of ordinals. I was tracking it, and it went down all the way to 0.019. When they came back, obviously they went up to 0.15 back, and since ran to almost 0.48, I believe, and now has retraced, as you've acknowledged. But I know a lot of people that sold their frogs for loss, and I think maybe this point is not as pertinent to shitcoins, but definitely, as she was saying, if you have conviction in something and the underlying fundamentals of it, maybe the market just needs to come back up. So those did really well. Another example, ordinal rugs, which also has a different layer to it because there's a coin attached to it. It tried to mint out at 0.01 in the bear. And I won't get too much into the backstory of it, but it didn't mint out. He refunded everybody. It since was able to redeploy, minted out at 0.0 run, ran to 0.305, 0.35, retraced. Anyways, this goes to my topic that I wanted to say and it's probably the same good point. Node monkeys. I don't know. Did you cover that at all?
No, haven't.
Are you familiar with node monkeys?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So node monkeys, are arguably probably the best pixel art on, or at least the most loved pixel art on ordinals. Um, there's kind of a controversy over what's the first 10K collection with original art. Everyone knows Bitcoin Punks was the first 10K full complete, but that's not original art, right? It's a 1-to-1 pixel per pixel thing. So There's maybe about 3 collections that can argue it. Honey Badgers would be the first that's inscribed, but it took 2 or 3 months to mint out. It ends at around 1 million. There's also OCM that minted on 1 Satoshi. So there's kind of an argument of, well, it's on 1 Satoshi. It relies on a technology for social consensus that parent-child inscriptions, which were part of ORDI protocol at the time, didn't exist. They were cursed, and then they had to retroactively be inscribed. So was it the moment that they kind of jumped into that Satoshi, or was it the moment that the ordinal protocol allowed it into the things? And then again, the biggest argument against it is, well, it comes from Ethereum, so it's not original to, well, while it's original art, it's not original to the chain. So that entered Node Monkeys. They started just after Badgers. So I think Badgers was like 81,000 and this might have been like 83,000, but they completed everything under like 110.
Yep.
Anyways, it gets into a point where they didn't know about the mint. They said it was free. Was that marketing? Was it not? Then they go into a Dutch auction, which obviously is very controversial. However, it's only art, and it's no execution. It's art and provenance. That's what the team has provided. So some people said, well, DAs are cash grabs and we don't support cash grabs. To me, a cash grab is when you have an unrevealed collection. You don't know what the art's going to be like, and you're making a promise that they probably won't deliver on, or are very lazy. So like a slow rug or something. Pixelmon, you didn't know what art you were getting. It relied on a game that you didn't know that they could execute on. In this case, you know exactly what the collection looks like. It's inscribed, it's on chain. The team is telling you, hey, it's only art and provenance. This is what you get. So you know the value of what you're going to get. You choose to do it. Anyways, it minted out beautifully, went down to 0.03, which is actually the floor of Goosenol's. And Goosenol's was Dmitry Chernak's art that was kind of hijacked and made into a collection, went to 0.001 in the bear, ran to 0.03, or 0.06 actually. It's retraced to 0.03. It minted out at 0.03. I think long term, even if we see a revealed dip, I think these can still challenge the frogs, which was my initial thesis. That's going to take a big community and time and people to fall in love with the collection, and a lot of volume on secondary to get to collectors' hands. But I think it was probably the biggest opportunity in ordinals that you'll see in a long time.
Is this them right here? Is this the
100%.
real Node Monkeys?
Dude, if you go to Rarity Sniper and they have it on Rarity Sniper, it gives you like punk vibes, because this is very much in tune with like CryptoPunks, Crypto Toads and Punk and Bored Ape. And what I mean by that is that those are both original collections that pay homage to like the punk style. So it's not a punk derivative, but in a way, Bored Ape is a punk derivative. In a way, Crypto Toads is a punk derivative. And in the same light, this is very original art, but it pays homage to it with aliens and hoodies and stuff like that. So I like looking at it on Rarity Sniper just because it gives you like that 2021 vibe when you were looking up your rarity, and it just hits different, dude. And I think people will forget about the FUD. I think people will just look at the art and provenance, and over time, people are going to fall in this collection and want to own stuff that's 100,000K original art that looks completely different than any pixel art that's been done before.
So where do you get them, English? Like, I think I'm on the correct collection here because of the inscription range, but
they're not released yet. So yesterday the Dutch auction ended. If you bid, so this is, and it was also a historic Dutch auction because they added a nuance to it. So the two types of Dutch auctions that existed before was a straightforward reverse of the English auction. Dutch auction, price goes down, you pay what you pay. Then there's the fair mechanic where everybody pays the resting price, but that has a FOMO kind of aspect. So my argument against the fair Dutch auction is that in a hot market with a hot collection, it's actually less fair because everybody FOMOs the top, assuming they're going to get a really cheap price or hoping to get a cheap price. They added an element where you don't get a refund necessarily, but you get more of the mint. So you only bid if you're really, really convicted on it. And it worked out. I didn't think it was going to work out, but it actually worked out. So here's the thing. So I bid 0.09 and it went down to 0.03. So I get 3 of them. I actually have node list also, so I get 1 for free. Now, had I bid 0.1, I would have got 3 monkeys and a 0.01 refund. So
Wow.
you only get a refund of the difference. The distribution is not that great. It's maybe about 25% of the collection, which is a little bit low. So that was the downside to it. So it might take some time for it to cycle to maybe a higher, healthier level, but still, I think that's the lowest of a healthy collection. Anything lower than that is kind of danger zone.
But English. So these aren't for sale yet because the mint just happened. These might not even be in collectors' hands yet. Would that be
They're
right?
not. They're not. You claim them on the 27th on Magic Eden. So
Oh,
here's
so
what they
cool.
did: is since it's not trustless, they tried to make it as trust trust as possible, minimized. So they set up a multi-sig with people that are really well-known people external to the project, people like the CTO of Taproot Wizards, Rajendel, someone from Bitcoin Magazine, I think even Ordly, who's a core dev on Ordinals, he's on the multi-sig. So they don't have access to the $17 million they raised. What happens is if you were on the node list, which gives you a free monkey, or you had a valid bid, on the 27th, they send all that to Magic Eden. You're on essentially the whitelist for a free monkey claim, and you just probably pay a gas transaction and you get a random monkey.
That's cool. Okay, well then I'm going to keep my eyes on this on the 27th. See how secondary looks. Probably.
I think it could dip to 0.02 as people shuffle out of unwanted ones, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. So in crypto NFTs, most people that are pretty savvy, they look for asymmetrical risk, right? So like if you pick one up for 0.02 and they go down to 0 or half, it's probably not that hard of a hit.
Right.
If they 10x, it's probably a pretty good play, right? That's my thesis.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I'll be watching for those then. I think. I mean,
what do you think
to
of
me,
the
that's an
art? I'm
easy sell.
curious.
Say that again.
What are you curious of? I mean, what do you think of the art?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
See,
like
everybody does.
simply because it looks unique. Like that alone, it looks cool and it looks unique. I love them. I didn't know that they were, in that conversation, the first 10K collections. I didn't realize
it's
that.
the general consensus is the first 10K. I think not general, but I think people will say, "Hey, this is the first 10K unique art on Bitcoin."
And then just knowing like Bitcoin frogs, like that they can get to 0.3. And in my opinion, then that means they can get to 0.5. You know what I mean? Like that kind of
They did. They got to 0.48, 100%. Yeah, it'll take time.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna find a way to get one. Absolutely. Thoughts here. Kind of shifting gears, but thoughts here on. God, I want to touch on MoonPay too, but I don't. I'm not going to keep the show going too much longer. But on Frame, did you guys claim your Frame? I guess allocation.
I did after you guys did.
You did. You got a decent amount too.
I got like 750. I don't know if that's decent.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
Started to. I need to go back and finish.
That platform is really interesting to me. Really interesting. Again, that combined with the Magic Eden Bored Ape thing and these platforms with the royalties baked in. But man, not that I think this will capture the same magic as SOS, but I think they have some serious money to be thrown around that's going to make it in the hands of traders. I'm very curious about this platform here. Vibes on it as far as, do you think traders are willing to trade on these L2s? And are they willing to just because of the people involved?
If I understand it correctly, it's people would need collections on that L2 to have it enforceable for royalties. That's what that's what this is, right? It's the same one I'm thinking of. Right. So yeah, so like if a collection decided to migrate, or there was like something that was, I think all these things rely on the network effect. It's kind of the same thing as Bored Apes going to Magic Eden and only exclusively trading there for royalties. Like Bored Apes has that gravity, right? Like if you can't buy it at OpenSea or Blur, you will go to Magic Eden to buy it because that's what you want. And so they're able to do that. Like it's kind of like the Apple store, right? Like if If you don't like using the Apple Store, but that's the only way you can, get like a certain game that you really want or whatever, you're going to go there because that's what you want. It's the same thing. I think if they're able to attract these collections that relied on royalties that people really want, and you have people like Bored Ape, and you have whoever there, Fidenzas, whatever that going there, people are going to say, hey, listen, people are already trading these high value collections. People have that muscle memory to go there. Once I throw on there, they're going to see my project and they're going to potentially buy it there. So I think that's probably the play there. In terms of rewards for you, I think it was like the easiest airdrop to claim that I've seen,
Yep.
with minimal work. So I think it's a no-brainer. I know somebody in my Discord of Sugartown that got drained off of like a link that was like
like a fake
on the comments. So it does require you to sign 2 transactions. So just be careful that you're on the right one, right?
Yeah.
Is my only thing.
So like, I wonder here, because like this week, Yuga Labs announced your stash. It's a wrapper starting for just CryptoPunks, but I this would make sense that they're making wrappers for all of their Yuga assets. Probably stemming for, well, there's a few reasons for this. One, I think they're building some security tools, but also they've already said they're getting their NFTs off off OpenSea. And the easiest way to do that is make a wrapper, and in your contract, make it so you pick and choose what marketplaces your assets can be traded on. I'm starting to wonder if those Yuga assets can be, I guess they can allow them to be traded on L2s and specific ones. And if we'll end up seeing like those Yuga assets being tradable on that frame L2, I think that'd be super interesting. So I'm trying to think if that makes sense.
Well, there's I think 2 ways to do it from my understanding. This is just kind of hanging out in spaces and talking to some people that, or listening to some people that are smarter with this. There's like a whitelist process and a blacklist process. And like, I think that there's one that's stronger than the other. And I think it's easier to have a whitelist process where you exclude everything and then only choose, as opposed to having blacklists, which are able to be circumvented by, I guess, the people that have it blacklisted. If I think I might have that correctly, or it might be the reverse. So I think there's like different approaches that people are exploring.
Like OpenSea could change their marketplace contract, or they could do something like that. All of a sudden,
it might be the reverse. I have to think it out. But I just know that there's 2 approaches that people are going about this. There's been multiple people and multiple platforms and multiple technologies that have been looking for ways to have enforceable contracts. I know that's been a topic for 2 years now, ever since we all discovered that we have been lied to, that Web3 and royalties are not,
yep,
synonymous. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yep.
Definitely.
Check this out too, guys. I caught this morning. It's a story from a couple days ago, but I caught something specific in this article that I think is super bullish. MoonPay, which already had a checkout tool for buying NFTs, well, I guess they gave a buff to that tool here. So it's going to now link to your Google Pay and your Apple account. So you're going to be able to use those accounts now to buy NFTs, and I think that's pretty damn new. So we were talking earlier about tools getting better and mass adoption on the way, and we already know people use MoonPay. I still use it for buying crypto, like in a pinch. So to me, huge buff for NFTs in that regard, that people can just through their Google account buy an NFT, and that'll come in handy for all these games that are going to start popping up on mobile devices. So don't know if you guys caught that. To me, it was way under the radar. Again, I just was hunting for news this morning and saw it, but bullish. Just seeing the tools, keep getting upgraded. I love this.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. And I think someone who spoke before me regarding mass adoption is what that would look like is mobile phone, not having to be on crypto Twitter. You already are somebody who purchases crypto on Coinbase or whatever other platform you feel comfortable, and they have an active NFT section, which obviously Coinbase tried, and so has Kraken, and nobody has really cracked that. But the day that happens, and NFTs are like accepted on like TikTok and Instagram and things like that, and like there's NFTs associated with like your favorite like TikTok influencer, and that's actually like accepted socially, and you can buy it and just enjoy it, that you have it like a pro app of your favorite person correlated, and then maybe it has value later on, and they sell it, buy it for $10, sells it for 20, and that's kind of like a Trojan horse. I just don't see that the tools right now self-custody is very appealing to the majority of people. It's just way too much friction and too much learning for somebody that, everybody that's into crypto is not into, on the casual layer, dedicating their whole lives like the way that we are, where we're kind of this kind of just this small percentage of like super fans of it. But there's people that can be fans of it casually, right? Like it's just maybe a very small sliver of their life. Like, okay, they do that and then they go on and live the other 99.9% of their life. And then it's like, cool, if it has value down the line, they can sell it. And hey, I made some profit on something and I just kind of enjoyed it. So I think actually, um, unless you get into wallets, and I know that like Udi from Taproot Wizards has been big on this, and a couple of other people, that seed phrases, although being the most um, structurally sound in terms of safety, that they just don't make sense for consumer behavior. And they've been looking at secure ways to have wallets without seed phrases that are maybe not 1,000%, I guess, self custody in some aspect, but it is to a degree that it makes the risk minimal in terms of that. What that looks like, I don't know. So I think those would be the two things: a secure self custody that doesn't require, and whether that's biometrics, and there's some way that the data is only to you, and not uploaded and have like security breaks. I don't know if that's the route they're actually looking at. I'm just making up an example. Or people don't really care about the self custody and it's as casual as the trust that you would have in a bank or an exchange. I think that's probably a big milestone to overcome.
Yep, all fair points. I agree with all of it. Guys, I think we can wrap here. And I'm going to hit just like one or two other market points just at the tail end. But any other thoughts, any other big stories this week? Just anything anybody wants to share here before we do end?
Solana, $100.
Yeah, it's there now, right?
Yeah, dude. It was at $75, and I thought, no, 75 to 80, and I was like, okay, I'll buy at under 70. No, I'll buy at 71, 72. I got under 70, and I thought my thesis was that in 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the approval, it'll run to 100. It ran in a few days, and I only put in a quarter of what I wanted. There's some support levels at like 80 that it might retest, but there's just calls for Solana to 120, 150. That might be a little bit overzealous, but here's the thing: is that narratives matter, and what's going on right now, there's a narrative that ETH is dead. I don't believe that, but
Not at all.
I'm not saying it is, but I'll just bear with me.
Yep.
Solana is the one for mass adoption this cycle. It's people are sick of gas fees, after being in the bear and realizing, because people didn't care about gas fees when you minted something at 0.1 and you sold it at 1 ETH every single day, and you had to pay 300 bucks in gas. Those days are probably gone. You probably have to work a little bit harder. And the fact that you have to work a little bit harder, you're not inclined to spend $50, $100, $300 per transaction. Then if you want slow, secure, and forever kind of things, you go to Bitcoin. So those are the two alternatives. They both have collections that rival the 10K collections on Ethereum. You have Mad Lads on Solana, that's already above Pudgy Penguin or at Pudgy Penguin. Frogs are at Pudgy Penguins, are the same. So you have the shit coins to make the equivalent. Before that didn't exist. You have Bonk, you have other stuff. The technology's superior from a consumer perspective on Solana. Now there might be a turnaround on Ethereum when Blur Blast comes liquidity, and the other one would be an ETF approval. Once the chain starts moving on the underlying value, maybe it hits 2,500, 3,000, you see a big boom. But that's a what if. So one of the two things are going to happen. It's a temporal narrative, and you'll see a reversal or even out, or you're at the beginning of a big paradigm shift. And again, asymmetrical types of upswings. If Solana does what Ethereum did, running from the hundreds to potentially the thousands in the next 5 years, and maybe hitting 700, 500, 600 peak bull, you're missing out on, even from now after it's ran, a 5x, where you're looking at maybe a 2 to 3x on Ethereum.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, a lot
I
of
see
people have
it.
shifted their portfolio.
Yeah,
And
dude, I see it. I see that scenario as very, very likely to play out with Solana, and agree about people and their thoughts on gas. Um, on the other hand, I think Ethereum NFTs are going to be just fine. And it's people chase what's the hot thing. Solana hot right now, I think stays hot and it does all the things you said. And I think all you have now is people with more places to look at to chase and to get their fix for those gains and just get the NFT degenning. I do think Ethereum's going to come right back and we'll see those prices so astronomical again that they're not going to give a shit about $100, $150 for gas. As much as it sucks, they're not going to care when the gains are, kind of where we've seen them before. And I just think they're going to come back.
no, I think they might. They might. I think the biggest indicator you'll see is mints, right? Like I'm not
Yes.
talking about necessarily shitty mints, but once we start seeing quality projects accepted being able to mint out at 0.05, 0.1, 0.2, whatever they choose to,
Yep.
and you see people accepting them because people look where opportunity is. And as cool as it is to buy a Fidenza or a Chromie Squiggle or a Pudgy for 10,000 and sell it for 12,000 or 15,000 or hold on to it. People want excitement, and that's what
Dude,
the shit coins are providing. That's what the new mints would provide.
that's
So I think
it.
that's what you would want to look for. New mints.
New mints, 0.05, 0.07, whatever, maybe 0.1. But those things that you used to be able to flip to, at 0.5 or 1 or 2 in the peak, fucking 3 ETH overnight. Yeah, when those come back, and again, I do think those come back. It's just when it's peak, just euphoria and all-time highs in crypto. I just have no doubt that does return to Ethereum. And then again, people don't give a shit about the gas. But I think Solana has legitimized itself now, really. And I think now traders who were very much Ethereum maxis aren't anymore. I think that's gone. I think that's dead. So multiple places to go shop, and we're going to see these cycles between Bitcoin NFTs running and then Solana and then Ethereum, and they'll just cycle with each other the same way we'd cycle from those main cryptos like Bitcoin, then to meme coins, then to NFTs. Now you got another dynamic of shifting between chains, which is nothing but awesome in my opinion. I love it. The future for NFTs to me looks very, very bright. I've always thought it's a multi-chain future, and I've always thought Ethereum would not be the king. Just not the king of NFTs. More than ever, I think that, and Solana a big reason why. More than that, though, Bitcoin. Bitcoin to me is going to be the king of NFTs, the blockchain for NFTs. Especially down the road. So we'll see how it all plays out. Guys, some quick numbers again, just to wrap it up with. This week, again, we talked at the beginning, kind of fell off a cliff late in the week, but still, this week has ended up already being the second best week of the month for NFT sales. It's maybe easy to lose sight of that and track of it because it did fizzle out. But last week was not just our high for the year, it was also an 83-week high. So last week was just so major that this week pales in comparison. But again, we just yesterday, actually might have been this morning, we crossed the previous high. So now this week is the second best week for NFT sales of the year. Pretty damn significant. And then looking at the monthly numbers here, okay, December, clearly the best month for NFTs this year, but it's also the best month for NFTs since May 2022. So it's just significant stuff happening here. And I think it's nothing but bullish for what's going to happen here in 2024. Combine it with airdrops, combine it with the frame token drop, combine it with the blast money unlocking, combine it with Friendtech V2, whatever else is coming. Man, we got a lot of firepower potentially, coming down the pipeline here. Again, for a very, very big 2024. I'm very, very excited about this stuff, guys. So hope you are too. Anybody has any counter thoughts to that? Let's hear them.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I wanted to add one thing. I know we're going backwards, but English was talking about wallets, and that stuff already exists, and is already being implemented. So Magic Labs, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I've gone a whole episode without talking about Valeria, but that's what they're using, so that you don't need a seed phrase. Like that's the onboarding for mass adoption. They literally, you can use your Apple ID, Google Play, or just an email, just like anything you do in Web 2 right now.
So it.
Is it
that's the key,
self-custody?
just like the MoonPay thing.
No?
It's the most brilliant thing, period. If you can link people's existing Apple and Google accounts to buy their NFTs and not have to think about them being NFTs and dealing with the NFT and blockchain tech, That's
So
the dream,
it
man.
has pre-built SDKSs that are Unity compatible, and it creates non-custodial wallets by logging in with your Apple ID or Google Play or email. So,
But when you say non-custodial, because people use that term differently, so you mean that you're not the custody and somebody else is having the custody, or the reverse?
I'm just reading.
Okay. Well, no,
So
it's a weird thing. Okay, so non-custodial is typically non-custodial would be you're not the custodian. So like what would non-custodial would be like Coinbase. And yes, there's a lot of that. But what I was kind of
right.
referring to was something that's full self-custody like MetaMask, but doesn't have a seed phrase.
Yeah, but like, do normies care about that?
No, but
Yeah.
but that's the thing. But
Right.
those I was just making two different things because one already exists,
Okay.
right? There is already non-custodial things. It would be a nuance to eventually get somebody from the top of the funnel, which is what you're talking about, which already exists, to the bottom of the funnel where they're a little bit more well versed into self-custody, and then having that as a feature because just long term, even if you were able to get them to that bottom of the funnel, seed phrases turn people off in a big way because now you're liable for your home self-sovereignty of your assets and you can't recover them. And a lot
Well,
of people,
yeah, and we've talked about before, like eventually seed phrases are going to be able to be cracked with quantum computing and all this stuff. Like it's not a long-term solution.
that's a fair point. Yeah.
Agreed.
Final thoughts is we've all been there. And why didn't I do this? Why didn't I buy a Bored Ape at 1 ETH when they were running to different things?
Why didn't I mint Bored Apes at
Why
0.08?
didn't so yeah. It could very well not play out, but um, I think you're looking at maybe one day, um, these node monkeys reach half a Bitcoin, maybe a Bitcoin. That would be long term thinking, but um, it has something special that can never be recreated. There's something that people value on Bitcoin from just a cultural standpoint more than any other chain, and that's provenance. You do see it obviously on Ethereum. People value punks for the provenance and fidenzas, but that was so long ago that you had to have been there, and they've already mooned. You're still in like that gold rush phase where people are trying to claim the provenance things, and you can't dial back time, right? And so this collection existed at a time when we minted Badgers. How long ago was that? And the art is just beautiful, and it's a perfect scenario because it got fudded, so the price went down or whatever. This is just one of those rare opportunities that you'll never see again. There's people trying to reclaim narratives. So like one right now is file size is might become an important narrative, and it might not be. So what I mean by that is that everybody's now, because of the mempool and how much fees, it's super expensive to inscribe. So people are looking for recursive technology or just compressing and doing that. Nobody cared about that back in February. People just did what they wanted. And it kind of harks back to a time when people could just pay 5 sats per v byte to inscribe whatever they wanted. So people now are thinking, if I'm making a collection and it's 100 sats per v byte, that's going to be a lot. I'm going to max that out to my potential because eventually it'll be 500 or 1,000 and nobody will be able to mint this. So in that same light that people are looking for like these historic kind of mile markers, you can't dial back time to 100,000 inscriptions. And I'm not saying that that's the only thing that matters. Look at Badgers, look at a couple other collections that are this, but it does have a unique narrative and the art slaps and it has no execution risk. So I would really say that if you are a buyer looking for an opportunity, you might not see this. What it might not play out 1,000%, and maybe you lose money. There's always that risk, but it is one of those opportunities that if you are looking at the market saying, "Hey, the market's hot, people are making money. I'm going to go get out of my bear PTSD mentality, and I'm going to start shooting some shots that I have conviction in, or I think has solid fundamentals." This is it.
Yep, I'll be a buyer in 4 days. 4 days, I'll be on the hunt. Hopefully, I can find a way to make that happen. But that narrative makes sense to me, so I'll certainly be looking at these guys and trying to get one myself. Guys, I think that's a wrap. I think, right? Feels like a wrap. feels complete. We got to the finish line. So with that said, we're all friends here. We'll be talking, I'm sure, in Discord, but still want to say a little more face-to-face. Let me get us a little more face-to-face. Hang on. There we go.
A little more face to Avatar.
Face to Avatar, face to PFP. Guys, it's been an honor degenning with you. Oh, shit, this is more like a New Year's Day speech, but whatever. Been an honor degenning with you guys all the past year. Like, honestly, it's been a blast. It's the most fun shit I can imagine doing. So just hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. Hope it's a blast. Hope it's fun. Hope there's some fun in NFTs during that time too, and I expect there will be, like that NFT, Santa, whatever that was called, that Secret Santa. Got to get in on that. But anyway, Merry Christmas, guys. I hope the weekend and Monday itself is fantastic for you guys, and thanks so much for joining and being a part of this whole thing. I love it. I love you guys. So thanks for joining. We'll catch you again next weekend.
It's great hearing from you all. Happy holidays.
Yep. Happy holidays. Have a great day.
Holidays, guys.
Happy holidays, guys. Have a good one.